Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to compare ChargePoint with Blink Charging and answer which one is the best stock to buy. Now rest assured, I'm also going to address the latest news with Tesla making deals with Ford and GM where their cars are going to be able to charge on the Tesla network. I'm going to address that issue and how it could impact ChargePoint and Blink Charging. So let's get right into it. Starting with ChargePoint's latest quarterly earnings results, revenue increased by 59% to 130 million. The net loss improved to 79.4 million, up from 89.3 million. So nice progress in increasing revenue, but letting that revenue diminish the losses on the bottom line. Making great progress in gross profit margin, increasing it to 23%, up from 15%, and management forecasting 153 million in revenue for the second quarter, which would be a 41% increase year over year. So solid growth for ChargePoint, allowing that growth to reduce the losses on the bottom line, making progress in increasing the gross profit margin, and expecting continued growth ahead. Now let's look at Blink Charging, which saw its revenue grow even faster at 121% to 21.7 million. Net loss increased to 29.8 million, up from 15.1 million in the same quarter last year. Unlike ChargePoint, which saw its net loss decrease with growing revenue, Blink Charging increased its losses almost doubled its losses by increasing its revenue. So I don't like to see that. However, the good news is that gross profit margin did improve to 21%, up from 16.2% in the same quarter the prior year. The company expects the gross profit margin to continue improving as it transitions from outsourcing manufacturing to bringing more of it in-house. So cash flow from operations worsened to negative 24.2 million loss. That was down from a loss of 11.4 million. The company's reiterating the target of 105 million of revenue and gross profit margin of at least 30% in 2023. So in the next quarter, the revenue of 105 million. So making good progress here, expanding its charging stations, and that's good news for Blink Charging investors. Now, let's address the point with Tesla and Ford and GM deals for Ford and GM cars to charge on the Tesla network. So remember, this is ChargePoint's president and CEO on June 1st. This is after Tesla made the deal with Ford, but before Tesla made the deal with GM. So this is the CEO's remarks in response to the deals, saying that Tesla is an outsized player right now. They have 70% market share in the US. And if it weren't for Teslas on the road, our customers would have no reason to buy a ChargePoint charger. That's the key. ChargePoint chargers are being used by Tesla owners. Tesla owners are the biggest drivers of demand for ChargePoint charging stations. And now with Ford and GM also going to use Tesla's charging stations, Tesla owners are going to look to other places to charge their cars because Tesla charging stations now are going to be used up by Ford and GM owners as well. So it's going to create further demand for Tesla's charging stations, which could cause some Tesla owners to look for other charging stations. And what also it's going to do is increase demand for electric vehicles overall because it's now going to become more convenient to charge your cars. So industry-wide, an increase in demand. Remember, still less than 10% of cars on the road in the US are EVs. So there's a great room to increase that share of overall EVs on the road. And now as customers feel more confident, they're going to be more likely to get an EV because now they feel like they have more places they can charge their cars. So an overall positive for the industry, and the CEO of ChargePoint saying, but I wouldn't see this as a bad thing for us long term at all. So it's not a bad thing for ChargePoint in the long term, although investors are reading into it as a bad thing right now. As you might have seen, in the back of the news, ChargePoint and Blink Charging stocks are falling in response to this news. But the CEO saying not a bad thing long term. So that remains to be seen. Of course, the CEO of ChargePoint stock is prone to advertise themselves and make themselves in a better position instead of saying, oh yeah, it's a whole doom and gloom story, it's over for us. He's not likely to say that even if it is bad news. So let's see where it ends up. But initial reaction, the CEO of ChargePoint saying the deals with Ford, Tesla, GM, not a bad thing for them. Finally, let's look at the valuation to answer which one of these two is the better buy. And when we look at this, we see similar valuation. ChargePoint a little bit more expensive at a forward price to sales of 2.8. Blink Charging at a forward price to sales of 2.436. So if I had to pick one of these two EV stocks to buy, it's really close. It's really close. But if I had to pick one of them, ChargePoint would be my choice between these two of better stocks to buy right now. All right, but that's all I've got for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/Parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now.